Don in London, hello. It's it's April 21st, 2010. My video is all about recovery from addiction to substance or behaviour. My addicted substance, alcohol, so a recovering alcoholic, one day at a time. My behaviour, equally cross-addicted, as some people say, into people, places and things, which manifested as addicted to work, relationships, collecting, materialism, and probably addicted to another thing too, which underlies everything to do with my ability to recover or not recover, or stay in recovery or not stay in recovery, and that's fear. So fear was underneath most of what went on around my behaviour towards work, relationships and materialism, people, places and things. So why did I drink? Well, it took the edge off. It took the edge off how I felt, fear. So as fear diminished, so I was able to take account of other feelings that had been pushed down inside me. And these feelings were the normal ones that people learn about as they're growing up and developing as life goes along. So for me, overly reliant on fear, putting on a brave face, and ego covering up the gap inside, the emptiness. So all that going on, what did I do? I drank for 35 years. And where did I cross the line into addiction? Well, does it matter? I don't know. Sometime in 2002, I think, I went to incomprehensible amounts of drinking. But along the way, I kept company with people who drank a lot and enjoyed life to the full. So, mad at work, mad in relationships, mad about collecting, insanity of doing the same thing over and over again, and wondering why I didn't feel right about life. So these days, I'm very lucky, I just keep sober one day at a time and experience feelings as they are. So one of the things I do every morning is say to myself, how am I feeling, why, what can I do? And where did I learn all this? Well, I learned a lot along the way in living, and then I've been able to apply that a lot with the help of people who know about recovery, who know how to stay sober one day at a time. And the greatest body of people I know who can do that exist in fellowships, anonymous fellowships, like Alcoholics Anonymous. And I go to Alcoholics Anonymous to find out, experience, strength and hope of being sober from people who know. So the gift is, in anonymity, in the rooms of AA, I find the truth of how to be sober. I find the truth of how to be me and experience life as it is today. Simple as that. So I share a lot about AA. I don't speak for it, never can, never will, never want to. Full of unique, authentic people with one similarity, and that's sobriety. But when we go to meetings, we leave our politics and religion at the door, most of the time, although sometimes we do share about our politics and our religion. But it's not to make you part of another person's idea, it's just so you know what helped them. So whatever helps, why not use it to help ourselves be in recovery? And that is what the fellowship is all about. So I share about it, it's anonymous, but for me, I was never anonymous in my drinking days, and since then, wherever I've gone, where I live, people know me as a recovering alcoholic, and that's my truth, just for me. And each person makes up their own mind about how that works for them. So what about AA? I share the statement of intent, or AA preamble here, and then I share a bit of the readings relating to the 12 steps of the AA program, which helps me keep my attitude and behaviour towards good, sober living, which can be happy or sad as life is. So here is the statement of intent, or AA preamble, which is shared at every meeting. Alcoholics Anonymous is a fellowship of men and women who share their experience, strength and hope with each other, that they may solve their common problem and help others to recover from alcoholism. The only requirement for membership is a desire to stop drinking. There are no dues or fees for AA membership. We are self-supporting through our own contributions. AA is not allied with any sect, denomination, politics, organisation or institution, does not wish to engage in any controversy, neither endorses nor opposes any causes. Our primary purpose is to stay sober and help other alcoholics to achieve sobriety. And it's as simple as that, really. Desire not to drink is the inclusion part, and then sharing experience, strength and hope, whether we're a newcomer, one day sober, or an old timer with decades sober. Simple as that. We all have wisdom to share, and we need to share it so we know what it's like to keep on drinking and what it's like not to drink one day at a time. AA saved my life, and all the people in AA, unique, authentic people who choose how to live their recovery, their own personal, unique, authentic way, have given me wisdom which I can utilise to keep sober. And when I can't get to meetings, I turn to the literature, or for guidance as well. This book, one of them, Daily Reflections, shares about each of the 12 steps, one a month. So we're in April, which is step 4. So January was about what is it to be powerless over alcohol. February was about the insanity of drinking and doing the same thing over and over again. March was about letting go old behaviour and developing new attitudes and behaviour soberly, how to live life, letting go old and bringing in the new. And April, step 4, is all about the personal fearless moral inventory, so we fear less as we go into our future and keep our feet firmly planted in the moment of now, today. And one of the things that we learn as we go along is that we did have a lot of fear, we did put on a brave face, and we did have quite a lot of ego protecting us, as we didn't know how to utilise courage, faith, and our confidence, our esteem. So these days I try to work to courage, faith and confidence. And one of the things it talks about for April 21st in this book, Daily Reflections, is cultivating faith. And it says here, I don't think we can do anything very well in this world unless we practice it. And I don't believe we do AA too well unless we practice it. We should practice acquiring the spirit of service, that's helping each other. We should attempt to acquire some faith, that's faith in living for me, and faith in the truth, which isn't easily done, especially for the person who has always been very materialistic, following the standards of society today. So in other words, there's an awful lot of bullshit, sorry about that, but there is a lot of bullshit around materialism, what we should want in life rather than what we actually need, following the standards of society today. But I think faith can be acquired. It can be acquired slowly. It has to be cultivated. That was not easy for me, and I assume that it is difficult for everyone else. That comes from Dr. Bob and the Good Old Timers, another book. It goes on to say, fear is often the force that prevents me from acquiring and cultivating the power of faith. Fear blocks my appreciation of beauty, tolerance, forgiveness, service and serenity. And those words are, when you think about them, appreciation of beauty, the way the world is, as it is today. Tolerance, that is, we're part of life and we're not in charge. We can make choices and we know people can upset us. Forgiveness for those who do, and also forgiveness for ourselves, because if we cannot forgive ourselves for our old behaviour, how can we start our new behaviour, living soberly, with new attitudes? Service and serenity, well, helping others, and serenity comes as life offers. It's not guaranteed, especially if you have a volcano going off, although we can now fly again from the UK. We have no power over it. So serenity is acceptance of what is possible and not the impossible for me. So when I share the serenity prayer to God or good conscience, as you choose, God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference is simply for today.